Konnichiwa minasan. Welcome to Saral Japani YouTube channel. Friends, today I am not going to give you any good news. MEXT scholarship, which is supposed to be the most important scholarship for students all over the world to do higher education in Japan for both undergraduate as well as postgraduate. So although the number of scholarships vary from country to country, but generally all the disciplines are allowed. But recently some of the disciplines have been uh, discontinued for Indian students, and today in this video we are going to look into those disciplines which have been barred from MEXT scholarship, which used to be there even a year ago. So which are those branches and why? The main reason is, like, the main thing is why these scholarships have been discontinued for India. So we will see in this video. So the branches of study which have been discontinued for Indian students in MEXT scholarship are those branches which are part of natural sciences C. So if you remember, or even if you don't know, there are three natural sciences A, B and C as categorized in the MEXT scholarship application guidelines, and natural sciences C is no longer part of scholarship for the Indian applicants, and this constitutes the medical sciences, the dentistry, veterinary and the welfare medicine. So all these branches have been stopped. So that means Indian students cannot do MBBS or any dental undergraduate or postgraduate course in Japan with this MEXT scholarship. So this is a major blow, because no longer medical studies will be possible. So if even after that, if an Indian student wants to go to Japan for medical, then he has to pay the tuition fees. There is no other scholarship that pays the tuition fees. So you can, at most you can get some stipend for your living expenses, for example from JASO or any such or maybe some specific university stipends, but not the tuition fees. So tuition fees you have to bear. So now we will see what are the reasons for discontinuation of this scholarship for Indian students. The main reason is related to financial situation. So okay, so before going to that, when was it discontinued? So as per available information, the last time this scholarship was available for Indian student was 2023. So although official documents say 2022 was the last, but we got to know that even in 2023 no one was selected, not a single student was selected for MEXT scholarship for medical or dentistry in 2023. And that means so in 2023 there was some selection from India. So 2023 there was some selection, but in 2024 and 2025 there wasn't any selection. So it probably stopped in 2024. So now what are the reasons? So the first reason is the financial situation. So medical studies is basically, in Japan it is 6 years long. So that would mean each student would be requiring scholarship for those 6 years, which is a great amount of money. And the requirement for most of the Japanese medical colleges is JLPT N2 N1, because most of the medical studies are in Japanese medium. Very few English based medical courses are there. So the Indian applicants, or in fact any applicant from around the world, won't be, it is very unlikely that they will be having JLPT N2 or N1 qualification at undergraduate level. So this is it's a very rare case if someone is having N2 or N1 while he is doing his higher secondary in a country other than Japan. So this is very less likely, because N2 and N1 require near native skills, so which is possible only when you are in Japan. So it is very less likely that a person can pass JLPT N2 or N1 while being outside of Japan, or who has never been to Japan and who doesn't know the Japanese culture or the Japanese society. It's not possible. It's not easy. You can go up to JLPT N3 but not N2 N1. So what does that mean? That means the MEXT board was not getting eligible candidates from India who had N2 or N1 JLPT qualification. So that means even if they select someone, he would not have. It is possible. It's more likely that he won't be having any JLPT N2 or N1, either N2 or N1 qualification. So that is one point. And the most important one is that now you would say that these two are applicable, these two situations are applicable for all countries, not only for India, right? The 6-year scholarship and JLPT N2 N1. So these two are applicable for all countries. Then why only India has been barred from that? So the reason, and which is the main reason, which is in India there are many medical colleges and they are giving preference to those countries which are much backward. So since the number of scholarships for medical is very limited and also the cost is too high because of the 6-year term, so instead of giving scholarship to Indian applicants, Japan would give scholarship to underprivileged countries who don't have adequate medical infrastructure or medical colleges in their countries. So I don't want to name those countries, but you can understand. So because of that, India has been striked out of that list who would get the scholarship for medical studies. So this is the primary reason, and I myself have also faced the same thing when I did masters from Thailand. So at that time India did the nuclear tests, and because of that India was barred from getting scholarship. So this is the scenario now in most of the countries which provide scholarship. So the main idea is that backward countries will get the most of it. So with that being said, we can conclude that Indian students can no longer study medicine or dentistry from Japan, and even if you want to do that, you have to pay the fees. So if you are going to pay the fees, then there is no point of going to Japan, right? In Japanese medium, what's the fun in learning Japanese and then doing medical from Japan? So instead you can go to in some other countries. Even if you go to China for medicine, you can study there in English medium, and that is also okay. So so that is the thing. So that's all that I wanted to tell you in this video, that natural sciences C, which includes dentistry and medicine, that is MBBS program, that is excluded for Indian applicants from the MEXT scholarship. So there is no full scholarship for studying medicine or dentistry from Japan, but rest of the scholarships are still intact. And another one, the MBA, the YLP, whose application period is currently going on, so that is also very difficult to get because that requires industry recommendations or recommendations from the government. So otherwise it is very competitive, and general students are very less likely to get their scholarship. Although it's not impossible, if you have exceptional qualifications you can definitely get, but that is less likely. So the main branches that gets this scholarship are natural sciences A, B, and the humanities and social sciences that we saw A and B during our MEXT 2026 application process. And these are the categories who are benefited from this MEXT scholarship the most. So that's all for now. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.